Today I'm making homemade gnocchi. You are going to need about 3 medium potatoes cooked. You can have them boiled with the skin. You can use your leftover baked potatoes, and you're gonna have to remove the skin first. Once the skin is removed, then you have to smash them really well. You can use potato masher, you can use just a regular fork, as long as you mash it up really well, so where it's pretty even texture and it doesn't have big chunks of potato left. Once the potatoes are mashed, you can push them all into one little pile and make a little dip in the center where you can put your eggs. So you need one medium-sized egg. And then you have to sprinkle some flour. It depends what kind of potatoes you use. That changes the humidity of the potatoes. So you may need half a cup of flour like I used for these potatoes. You may need a little more, closer to 3/4 of a cup of flour. So you have to kind of start with a few tablespoons and then see how moist your batter is. And always save a little bit extra flour for rolling as well. So once the first few tablespoons of flour got incorporated and absorbed into the batter, I can see that it's way too sticky still. So I'm adding a little bit more flour. I'm gonna scrape this dough off the board as well, just kind of flip it over and continue mixing it until the dough becomes even, still soft, but not too sticky. And you can add more flour to your liking. The more flour you add, the harder the gnocchi will be. The less flour you have, the softer they'll be at the end. So it just depends on your preference, but just make sure that you have enough flour to where it's not super sticky to your hands. And once your dough gets into the right consistency, just shape it into a log and set it to the side where you can cut pieces off and start rolling your gnocchi. So first take a small piece of your dough, just cut it off and roll it out and cut the gnocchi to the size that you prefer. And then take each one of those gnocchis and roll in between your palms, just to kind of get rid of those sharp edges, and so they look oval or round instead of looking like pillows. And now it's time to shape your gnocchi. I am using the gnocchi board and the rolling pin that came with it, and I'm just rolling them down the board, pushing that down a little bit on them. That way they get the ridges on the outside and a little dip on the inside, and that gives them a little texture, and that way when I put the sauce has somewhere to stick to. But if you don't have one of those boards, you can always use a fork. Okay, it's time to make the sauce. I'm making, as my son calls it, pink sauce. It's a tomato, a basil, and a touch of cream. I'm using about 1 tablespoon of tomato paste and about 3 tablespoons of tomato sauce. And I warm it all up in the frying pan, add some basil to it, and then I just add a touch of cream and mix it up really well. Once the cream is mixed in, I add about a quarter cup of Parmesan cheese. Mix it one more time, and the pink sauce is ready to go. Now it's time to cook your gnocchi. They only take about 3 minutes to cook, so that's why I do it last. You take a pot of boiling water, throw them in, and make sure you mix them right away so they don't get stuck to the bottom of the pot or they don't clump up together. And just about 3 minutes and they're ready to go. Once you see them starting to float, be ready to start pulling them out, because if you leave them too long, they're gonna become too mushy. Now all you have to do, add them to the sauce, mix them in. You can garnish them with some more basil, Parmesan cheese, and enjoy your homemade gnocchi with tomato, basil, and cream sauce. Don't forget to like and subscribe.